I was 3 hours into a research session when I almost cited a court case that does not exist. The citation looked perfect. It had a case name, a docket number, a circuit court, and a year. Gemini Ultra gave it to me with the same confidence it uses for everything else. This video is the full story of that AI hallucination and what you need to do so it does not happen to you. Before I get into the details, let me be clear about the stakes. Federal judges have already sanctioned lawyers for submitting briefs built on AI-generated fake citations. One case in New York made national news. Careers were damaged. And those lawyers were not careless. They trusted an AI tool the same way millions of people trust these tools every day. I was using Gemini Ultra to help summarize legal precedents around a specific topic. I asked it to find relevant cases supporting a particular argument. This is exactly the kind of task that AI is marketed for. Speed up your research. Find sources faster. Get more done. Gemini Ultra returned a list of 5 cases. 4 of them were real. I had heard of 2 and the other 2 checked out quickly. But the 5th case had a name I did not recognize. The citation read like a legitimate federal appellate decision. It had a plaintiff name, a defendant name, a volume number, a reporter abbreviation, and a page number. Everything a real citation needs. I want you to understand how convincing this looked. It was not a vague reference. It was not a case with a suspiciously generic name. The model produced a specific circuit, a specific year, and even a brief summary of the supposed ruling that fit perfectly with the argument I was researching. That internal consistency is exactly what makes AI hallucinations dangerous. The first thing I did was search for the case name on Google. Nothing came back. That alone is not proof of a hallucination because some older lower court opinions are not well indexed online. So I moved to the next step. I went to a free legal database and searched the exact citation. No result. I searched just the case name. No result. I searched variations of the parties involved. Still nothing. At this point I felt the first real wave of concern. I had been treating this citation as a lead I would clean up later. Now I was starting to wonder if there was nothing to clean up. I ran the citation through 2 more databases. One is a professional tool used by practicing attorneys. The other is a government archive. Neither one returned a match. The case did not exist. Gemini Ultra had generated every detail from scratch, and every detail was wrong in the specific way that a fabrication would be wrong. Internally consistent, externally non-existent. So why does this happen? Large language models do not retrieve information from a database. They predict the next token based on patterns in training data. When you ask for a legal citation, the model knows what a citation looks like. It knows the structure. It knows the naming conventions. It generates something that fits the pattern. But fitting a pattern and being true are completely different things. The model is not lying. It does not have intentions. It has no concept of truth or falsehood. It generates plausible text. In most contexts that is useful. In legal, medical, and academic contexts, plausible but false is a serious problem because the output looks identical to plausible and true. I went back to Gemini Ultra and asked it to confirm the citation. It doubled down. It described the case in more detail and added context about how the ruling fit into a broader legal trend. Every word was fabricated, and the model stated it with complete confidence. This is the hallucination feedback loop. Asking the model to verify its own output does not work. I then ran the same original prompt through 2 other AI models to see if this was a Gemini-specific problem. One model produced a different set of cases, and one of those was also fabricated. The other model added a disclaimer that it could not verify specific citations and recommended I check a legal database. That disclaimer was the more honest and more useful response. This comparison is not meant to rank AI models or tell you which one to use. The point is that hallucination is a system-wide characteristic of this generation of language models. Some models are better at flagging uncertainty. None of them are immune to generating false citations. Here is the verification workflow I now use every single time. Step 1. Search the case name in a general search engine first. A real published opinion almost always has some web presence. Step 2. Search the exact citation in a free legal database like Google Scholar or Court Listener. Step 3. If the case matters enough to cite, verify it in a professional legal research tool. Step 4. Never ask the AI to verify its own output. That step does not work, and the earlier example showed you exactly why. Step 5. If you cannot find the case in two independent databases, assume it does not exist and remove it from your work. The burden of proof is on the citation, not on your inability to find it. This workflow adds maybe 5 minutes per citation. In exchange, it protects your reputation, your professional standing, and in some fields your legal liability. 5 minutes is not a meaningful cost compared to those risks. There is a broader principle here worth naming directly. AI tools are genuinely useful for drafting, summarizing, brainstorming, and generating first versions of things. They are not reliable primary sources. They are not search engines. They do not retrieve facts. They generate text that resembles facts. Keeping that distinction clear changes how you use these tools safely. The researchers and professionals who get burned by AI hallucinations are not people who ignored warnings. They are people who used AI the way the marketing told them to, at full speed, with high trust, and without a verification step built into the workflow. Building that step in is the entire lesson of this video. If this video saved you from a mistake or gave you a workflow you will actually use, hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds and it helps this channel reach other people who are making the same risky assumptions about AI research tools. Subscribe if you want more honest coverage of what AI gets wrong and how to work around it. Next video covers another category of AI failure that hits academic researchers specifically, and it is more common than most people realize.